Okay, you guys got his sixth career pick, senior cornerback Cam Bynum here is with you guys tonight. We'll go ahead and start with Trace Travers' questions.
Oh, I thought Jeff was in the queue before me, but yeah.
We'll mix it up a little bit.
All right, Cam, good to see you this evening. One thing everyone has mentioned about the last few days of practices is that they've been very spirited, maybe even more so than the past couple of weeks. What have you seen in that regard?
I've seen practice just be a lot more energetic. After a loss, obviously, you got to go back and reevaluate everything we've been doing because obviously how everything's been wasn't enough. So one thing was the energy at practice needed to be stepped up. So I would say just the energy and the focus during practice is a lot higher. People drawing at each other a little. I think that's what we need as a team to be more competitive during the week. So it's normal during the weekend.
Yeah, and is there a specific way you guys it's kind of hard to bring energy out of nothing when you're practicing. Is there a specific way you guys pump yourselves up, or is it just because you got a more senior laden team that you're able to bring the energy level up a bit easier now?
I think it's just the side effects of everything. Obviously coaches we're tackling a lot more, not fully tackling, but instead of tagging up on people, we're thudding up, just making contact because obviously during the game our tackling wasn't good enough. So that alone will bring energy, just having contact, hearing pads, the sound of pads collisioning. And I just think just coming off a loss, everything is going to be a lot more energetic and people are going to be a lot more excited to be out there to get that feeling of the loss up off of you. So I think that's the biggest thing. We just want to win. So the energy has to be there. You have to practice with the most effort possible.
Awesome. Thank you.
And now we'll go to Jeff Ferrata. Jeff?
Thudding up. I like that, Cam. That's pretty cool. Thudding up, huh?
That's the term.
I just want to ask you something sort of within the context of you deciding to go to the draft and then come back, and how excited you were and how serious you were about wanting to have a great season for yourself and your team. And then all of a sudden you have your first game canceled, then your second game's canceled, and then you guys don't play well when you finally get a game. What's that been like for you to digest, and what have your emotions been through this stretch?
I've been pretty even keeled this whole time because I knew coming into it this wouldn't be a normal season. As we know, this whole year isn't normal. So I try not to get emotional about anything because nothing in this season is guaranteed. We can have a case tomorrow and our game be canceled, or they could have it. So overall, just this whole time, just prepare and get better individually, and then that'll trickle down to the whole team. And no matter who we play, we got to be ready for. So we couldn't use any excuses that the D-line wasn't there, whatever people wanted to say, because at the end of the day, we wanted to play ball and we got what we wanted and didn't win. So I just think the preparation just has to be perfect throughout the week, no matter what's going on the outside.
And clearly you're devoted to this, but has this been weirder even with all the cancellations than even you could have imagined when you were maybe thinking about not playing way back in the summer?
I kind of expected, if there's a season, I expected there to be things like this of cancellations, just because if there's cases, you can't play. So this is just something I expect, and I put it to the back of my mind, because that if you keep thinking about who you're going to play or what's going to happen, then I think that it'll just take away from your focus during the week. So I just focus on my opponent that we know that we're playing at the time and just go with it.
So it's just full speed ahead now in the game. Yep. And not worry about the rest of it.
Exactly. Everything else will work itself out.
Thanks, Cam.
Okay, we'll go back to Trace Travers.
Yeah, they up at Oregon State, they have a couple new wide receivers from what I've seen. What have you seen from that position group?
I think just overall, the whole group is a solid group of receivers. They spread the ball around a lot, and I really respect their run game. I think that's the biggest part of their offense. They have really good running backs. So it's going to be a fun game as a DB, being able to cover a lot of different guys and being able to compete against solid receivers.
Awesome. Thank you.
Go to David Bush from Bear Insider.
Well, I also was going to ask a little bit about Oregon State. What do you remember about their receivers from last year?
I remember they had Isaiah Hodgins. Obviously, he was the big name guy last year, and he was leading the Pac-12 in receptions and stuff like that. So that was our big target to cover last year. And I just know that overall, besides their personnel, I know they have a really good offensive coordinator, and their offense is pretty complex. So we just have to be on all of our keys over anything.
Okay, thanks, Trey. Cam.
Hey, guys, any further questions for Cam tonight? I'll give you a couple more seconds here to, if you do, to let me know in the chat. Cam, I think you answered them all, man.
All good to go?
Yep, good to go. Appreciate
Keep it
you.
quick.
All
Have a
right.
good
Thank
night,
you,
Cam.
guys. Have a good night.
Thank you, Cam.
Okay.
Too.
Night.
Thanks,
You guys
Kyle.
too. Bye.